You're smart. You have a good job. You make decent money. So why are you still broke? Why does it feel like you're working harder than ever but getting nowhere? It's not because you're bad with money. It's because your brain is sabotaging you. And until you understand the psychology, the cycle won't stop. Let me explain. Intelligence doesn't equal wealth. If it did, the smartest people would be the richest. But they're not. Some of the most educated high IQ individuals live paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, people who never went to college retire wealthy. This isn't about work ethic. It's not about opportunity. It's about psychology. Your brain has built-in biases about money, and these biases keep smart people broke, not because they're stupid, but because they're human. I'm going to break down the psychological traps that keep intelligent people poor, and once you see them, you can't unsee them. Let's go. Trap number 1, you treat income like wealth. Here's the mistake. You get a raise, you make more money, you feel wealthy, so you spend more. New apartment, better car, nicer restaurants, designer clothes, your income went up. But your wealth, it stayed the same, or got worse. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it's the number one reason smart people stay broke. The psychology behind this is simple. Your brain adapts to your new income level. What felt like luxury last year becomes normal this year. And once it's normal, you need more to feel satisfied. This is the hedonic treadmill. You're running faster, making more money, but staying in the same place financially. It's the brutal truth. A doctor making $200,000 a year with $200,000 in expenses is broker than a teacher making $50,000 with $20,000 in expenses. Income is what you make. Wealth is what you keep. Smart people confuse the two. They earn more, so they spend more, and they wonder why they never get ahead. The fix? Separate your spending from your income. When you get a raise, your lifestyle shouldn't change. Your savings should. Wealth isn't about earning more. It's about keeping more. And smart people forget this because high income feels like winning. But the scoreboard isn't your salary. It's your net worth. Trap number 2. You delay gratification too much. Wait, isn't delayed gratification good? Isn't that the whole point? Yes. And no. Smart people are excellent at delayed gratification. They went to college instead of working. They studied instead of partying. They sacrificed short-term pleasure for long-term success. But here's the trap. They delay gratification forever. They think, I'll enjoy life once I get the degree, once I get the job, once I pay off loans, once I buy a house, once I retire. Decades pass. They never enjoy anything. Because there's always another milestone. This is called the arrival fallacy, the belief that happiness is waiting at the next achievement. But when you arrive, the goalpost moves. Meanwhile, they're miserable. Working jobs they hate, living in cheap apartments they despise, driving cars they're embarrassed by, all because someday they'll have enough money to enjoy life. But here's the psychology. Someday never comes, because your brain keeps raising the bar. And then what happens? Burnout, resentment, and eventually explosion. After years of deprivation, smart people snap. They blow their savings on something stupid, a car they can't afford, a vacation they shouldn't take. Because they've been denying themselves for so long, the dam breaks. The fix? Balance. Delayed gratification is smart. Perpetual delayed gratification is self-destruction. You can save for the future and enjoy the present. They're not mutually exclusive. Build wealth, but also build a life. Otherwise, what's the point? Trap number 3, you optimize for status, not wealth. Smart people care about status. They want to be seen as successful, and they buy things to prove it. The nice apartment, the luxury car, the designer wardrobe, the expensive dinners. But here's the trap. Status is expensive. Wealth is invisible. You can look rich or be rich. You can't do both. This is the paradox of wealth. The people who look wealthy are often broke. The people who are wealthy often look average. Why? Because visible wealth costs money. Invisible wealth makes money. The guy driving the BMW probably has car payments, a lease he can't afford, and credit card debt. The guy driving the Toyota probably has $1 million invested. Smart people fall into this trap because they conflate external validation with internal success. They need others to see them as successful. So they spend money they don't have on things they don't need to impress people they don't like. This is Veblen spending, consumption driven by social signaling, not utility. And it destroys wealth. Here's the test. Would you still buy it if no one ever saw it? If the answer is no, you're optimizing for status, not value. And status is a black hole. You can never buy enough to feel successful because the bar keeps rising. The fix? Stop performing wealth. Build actual wealth. Real wealth is freedom, the ability to say no, to work less, to take risks, to quit a job you hate. But you can't have that freedom if you're spending everything to look successful. Choose. Look rich or be rich, not both. Trap number 4, you're overly risk-averse. Smart people are risk-averse. They've been taught to play it safe. Don't make mistakes, follow the rules, get good grades, get a stable job, and it works until it doesn't. Because playing it safe keeps you employed. It doesn't make you wealthy. Wealth requires risk, not reckless risk, calculated risk, starting a business, investing in assets, changing careers, negotiating salary, moving to a new city. But smart people avoid these risks. Why? Loss aversion. We talked about this in another video. Your brain hates losing more than it loves winning. Losing $100 hurts more than gaining $100 feels good. So smart people stay in safe jobs they hate because the risk of change feels worse than the pain of staying. They keep money in low-interest savings accounts because investing feels risky. They never negotiate salary because asking feels uncomfortable. And they stay broke. Not because they're dumb, but because they're too smart. They overanalyze. They see all the ways things could go wrong, so they don't act. Meanwhile, less intelligent people take risks. Some fail, but some succeed wildly because they weren't paralyzed by analysis. Here's the paradox. The safest long-term move is often the riskiest short-term move. Staying in a dead-end job feels safe today, but 20 years from now, you're broke, burned out, and trapped. Starting a business feels risky today, but 20 years from now, you own your time and your income. The fix? Reframe risk. The riskiest thing you can do is nothing. Inflation is eating your savings. Your job could disappear. Your industry could collapse. Doing nothing isn't safe. It's just invisible risk. Smart people need to learn. Calculated risk isn't dangerous. It's necessary. Trap number 5. You undervalue your time. Smart people will spend an hour researching to save $5. They'll drive across town for cheaper gas. They'll DIY everything to avoid paying someone. And they think they're being smart. But they're not. They're staying broke. Here's why. Your time has value. If you make $50 an hour and you spend 2 hours to save $10, you just lost $90. But smart people don't see it this way. They see, I saved $10, I'm being frugal. No, you're being penny wise and pound foolish. This is the time money fallacy. Smart people treat their time as infinite and their money as scarce. So they optimize for money and waste time. But time is your most valuable asset. You can always make more money. You can't make more time. Wealthy people understand this. They outsource. They pay for convenience. They buy back their time. Smart broke people do the opposite. They mow their own lawn to save $30, then complain they don't have time to start a side business. Here's the brutal math. If you can make $100 an hour doing high-value work, any task that costs less than $100 an hour should be delegated. But smart people won't pay someone $20 an hour to clean their house while they waste that time scrolling social media. The psychology here is sunk cost thinking. I already own the lawnmower, I might as well use it. No. Sell the lawnmower. Buy back your time. The fix? Calculate your hourly rate. Then ask, is this task worth my time? Wealthy people buy time. Poor people sell it. Smart people waste it. Stop optimizing for small savings. Start optimizing for high-value activities. Trap number 6. You believe money follows hard work. Smart people work hard. They believe effort equals reward. If I just work harder, I'll make more money. But that's not how money works. The hardest working people in the world are often the poorest. Construction workers, nurses, teachers. They work brutal hours for modest pay. Meanwhile, people who work less make more. Because money doesn't follow effort. Money follows value and leverage. You can work 80 hours a week at a job with no leverage and stay broke. Or you can work 20 hours a week building systems with leverage and get rich. Smart people miss this. They think, I'm putting in the hours. Why aren't I getting ahead? Because you're trading time for money, and time doesn't scale. Wealth comes from leverage, capital, people, code, media. You invest money and it grows while you sleep. You hire people and their work multiplies your output. You write code that runs forever. You create content that reaches millions, but smart people avoid leverage. They think it's cheating. I should do it myself. I should work for it. That's the poverty mindset. Wealthy people ask, how can I do this once and get paid forever? How can I multiply my effort? Smart broke people ask, how many hours do I need to work to afford this? The fix? Stop trading time for money. Start building leverage. Hard work is necessary, but it's not sufficient. Work smart, not just hard. Work. So let's recap. 6 psychological traps that keep smart people broke. 1. You treat income like wealth. Lifestyle inflation destroys you. 2. You delay gratification forever. The goalpost keeps moving. 3. You optimize for status, not wealth. Looking rich keeps you poor. 4. You're overly risk-averse. Calculated risk is necessary. 5. You undervalue your time. Time is your most valuable asset. 6. You believe money follows hard work. It follows value and leverage. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Intelligence is an advantage, but it's also a trap. Smart people overthink. They overanalyze. They optimize for the wrong things. They're excellent at playing the game they were taught. Get good grades, get a good job, work hard. But that game doesn't create wealth. It creates stability, and stability is not wealth. Wealth requires different thinking, risk, leverage, value creation, time optimization. And smart people resist this because it feels wrong. It feels like cheating. It feels risky, but it's not. It's just different rules. The good news? Once you see these traps, you can avoid them. Intelligence is still an advantage. You just have to point it in the right direction. So what do you actually do? First, track your net worth, not your income. Income is vanity. Net worth is sanity. If your net worth isn't growing, you're not building wealth. You're just earning. Second, automate your savings. Don't rely on willpower. Set up automatic transfers to savings and investments the day you get paid. Pay yourself first. Third, invest in assets, not liabilities. A car is a liability. A house you live in is a liability. Stocks, real estate that generates income, businesses, those are assets. Fourth, buy back your time. Outsource low-value tasks. Pay for convenience. Your time is finite. Use it on high-value activities. Fifth, take calculated risks. Start the business. Invest in the market. Negotiate the raise. Ask for the promotion. The riskiest thing you can do is nothing. Sixth, focus on increasing your value, not your hours. Learn high-income skills. Build leverage. Create systems. You're smart. Use that intelligence to build wealth, not just earn income. If this video changed how you think about money, hit that subscribe button. I break down the psychology of money, investing, and decision-making every single week. Drop a comment. Which trap are you stuck in? I'm betting it's number 1, lifestyle inflation. Let me know. And if you want to understand more psychology of money, check out my video on FOMO and why you buy high and sell low. It connects directly to this. Thanks for watching. Build wealth, not income. I'll see you in the next